Hey guys, so this is the second series for our landing portion, strengthening the legs. Now, while PLFs are preferred and they are recommended, we also know that many canopy pilots do choose to run their landings out. So if you do choose to run out a landing, we want to make sure that you have the proper technique and strength in order to make that successful.
So this is the prerequisite exercise that we would encourage for you guys to do before moving on to any part of this landing sequence that we're gonna go over. So Brianne's gonna have about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches at the tops, underneath her heels in this position. And this exercise is to mainly focus on developing the quads. That way you're strong enough to slide out those landings or even pull your feet quick enough for those landings. This is not how I advise to do regular squats. It is actually a little bit dangerous under heavier loads. So with that said, this is very movement specific, and let's keep that in mind. So Brianne's got her heels elevated on the plate. You could use a box, you can use towels, you could use whatever you'd like. And she's gonna place most of her weight on her forefoot. Now her heels are not allowed to leave the plates. As you go down, if you have any limitations with your ankle mobility or calves, that might just happen. So from here, Brianne's gonna move through like the middle quarter of a squat movement. In the bottom, she's not going down all the way. And at the top, she's not locking her legs out. You can almost treat this like a bounce, and you know you're doing it right when you feel it in your quads. And the last thing we're gonna go over is the knee positioning that Brianne has. So she almost wants to apply outward pressure into my hand. That way we're creating like that diamond shape with our knees and our feet and our hips. So if that first one feels more effective for you and you've done it for a couple days now, a couple sets of maybe 20 to 30 reps, you can now load in front of you. That way we can turn on the quads and the medial chain a little more, being the center of the body and the legs as opposed to the posterior chain behind you. So like I said, this is not the ideal way to do squats. However, if you are gonna load, I ask that you guys load in front and you load very gently. So we don't want a heavy barbell on the back or anything like that. Brianne's gonna now increase her range of motion to maybe the middle half of the movement as opposed to the middle quarter. She's gonna have that weight directly in front of her. She's gonna go down, press her knees out, come up, not lock her legs out, and we're gonna bounce through this just for a couple of reps. She wants to place as much weight equally distributed through her foot as possible and no hot spots when it comes to her heels or the top of her feet. A couple sets of 20, a couple sets of 30 reps, and you guys should be good to go to move on to the next sequence. Thanks, guys. This is the second part of our landing sequence, where we'll teach you how to equally dissipate the energy that you're generating from the forward flight of the canopy. So Nick is standing on what we have right now as a 20-inch box, and the difficulty can increase the taller the box or the higher the jump that is for you. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna stagger his feet. He's gonna lead with one leg. As he lands, he's gonna land back foot first, and that's actually gonna be the first foot that turns over to dissipate the energy as well. So Nick's gonna go ahead and sit up, both knees bent. He's gonna take a small step, lead with it, land on that back foot, turn it over as quickly as he can. So the reason we want that back foot to land first is because if you land on that front foot, chances are your leg might be locked out, causes a lot of joint pressure, and the turnover might not be quick enough for you to go ahead and move the energy outwards as opposed to like side to side. So one also really important point that we want to emphasize is that although teaching sport performance, you lean back to stop velocity moving forward, we almost want to act like there's a chest strap across our chest and lean into that. That way, when we do land, our upward travel is nice and equally distributed. We're not forward or backward. Okay, so one more time, Nick.